Have you ever noticed that the most dangerous place isn't always the place that hurts you the most, but sometimes it's a place that feels safe? Not because it's good for you, but because it feels familiar. And that is your comfort zone. Your comfort zone doesn't wake up one morning and announce that I'm going to keep you stuck. It whispers, stay one more day, you can start tomorrow. Now it isn't the right time. And before you know it, tomorrow becomes next week becomes next year, and one day you wake up wondering where your ambition went, where your confidence disappeared, and why your life still feels exactly the same as it did 5 years ago. Here's the truth that changed my perspective. Your comfort zone isn't always a place of peace. Sometimes it's a prison with invisible walls. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how to recognize those walls and, more importantly, how to break free from them. Hey besties, it's Hope reporting live from my own personal peaceful bubble. And welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're not. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and we're getting back to them. It's gonna be a weekly thing. I'm gonna be posting them weekly now because I love yapping, I love talking, and I know you guys are watching too. If you're new here, hi, my name is Nthabiseng Hope, and in this space we talk about discipline, self-growth, confidence, everything about becoming the best version of yourself that you always dreamed of. So make sure you click the subscribe button, like, share this video with someone who will align with this content, and click the notification button so that you get notified every time I post a video. So without further ado, let's get right into today's video. Lately, I've been thinking about comfort. Not comfort as in resting after a long day, not comfort as in protecting your mental health. No, the kind of comfort that convinces you, like quietly convinces you to settle. Because the truth is, human beings love certainty. We love routines. We love knowing exactly what's going to happen tomorrow. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem starts when comfort stops being a choice and starts becoming your identity. That could be when you're no longer staying because you're happy, but you're staying because you're afraid. Afraid of failing, afraid of being judged, afraid of change, afraid of starting over, and maybe you're afraid because you think you're not good enough. And that is exactly how a comfort zone can become a prison. Not overnight, but by one small decision at a time. Point one, your comfort zone doesn't look like a prison. When people hear the phrase comfort zone, they often imagine someone who is lazy, someone who doesn't want success, and someone who has no dreams. But I don't think that's true. I think the most ambitious people are trapped inside comfort zones. They have notebooks full of ideas, they have business plans, vision boards, goals they want to achieve, books they want to write, places they want to travel, dream careers. But none of it leaves their imagination. You know why? Because they are simply waiting to feel ready, waiting until they have confidence, waiting until they have more money, waiting until they know enough, waiting until they have the perfect camera, the perfect body, the perfect opportunity, the perfect timing. But here's something I've learned: confidence doesn't come after the action, confidence comes because of the action. Think about a baby learning how to walk. Imagine if they waited until they felt confident before taking the first step. I mean, like, none of us today would know how to walk, right? They fall, they stumble, they cry, and then they get back again. They stand up again. And eventually, walking becomes natural. The same thing happens with every goal in life. You become confident by doing, not by thinking, not by planning forever, not by waiting for fear to disappear. And that's why comfort is so dangerous. Because comfort convinces you that preparation is progress. It makes you feel productive because you're researching, you're writing new goals, you're watching motivational videos, you're buying planners, you're sorry, you're learning more. And there's nothing wrong with that. But eventually, there comes a point where learning becomes another way of hiding, Preparation becomes procrastination wearing a nicer outfit. You're no longer growing. You're just staying busy enough to avoid taking the risk. And you want to know the hardest part? You don't even realize you're stuck because your life doesn't look bad, right? It's comfortable, predictable, safe, but deep down, you know that you're capable of more. And you know that feeling that you get when you watch someone else chase their own dreams? Sometimes it isn't jealousy, sometimes it's grief. Grief for the version of yourself that you've been postponing becoming. Point two, the prison has no locks. The scary thing about the prison made of comfort is that it has no locks, no bars, no guards. The door has been open the entire time. The only thing keeping you inside is fear, and fear is incredibly convincing. It tells you that you're being realistic. It tells you that you're protecting yourself. It tells you that you're waiting for the right time. But most of the time, fear isn't protecting you. It's protecting the life that you've already outgrown. Think about it. How many opportunities have you talked yourself out of? How many times have you said, I'm not ready for this? I'm too young for this. I'm too old. What if people will laugh at me? What if I fail? What if people judge? What if no one supports me? What if I'm not talented enough? Now, ask yourself a different question. What if none of those things happen? And if they do, wouldn't it hurt more to spend years wondering who you could have become? One of the greatest tragedies isn't failure, it's potential that never gets a chance to exist. Point number three, signs that your comfort zone has become a prison. Sometimes we're so used to our routines that we don't even realize that we're stuck. So, here are a few signs that your comfort zone might be holding you captive. Sign number one, you dream more than you do. You have incredible ideas. You imagine the life you want and you picture yourself succeeding. But your mm, actions don't match your imagination. You keep on waiting for motivation instead of creating momentum. Sign number two, you keep saying one day I'll start my business. One day I'll post the content. One day I'll apply for the opportunity. One day I'll travel. One day I'll change my life. One day I'll go to the gym. And the problem with one day is that it never appears on the calendar. And eventually one day becomes 10 years later. Sign number three, you're more afraid of being judged than staying happy. You're more comfortable disappointing yourself than risking someone else's opinion. That is a prison. Because no matter what you do in life, people will always have something to say. So the question is, whose opinion matters more? Theirs or yours? Your future self's opinion. Sign number four, you mistake peace for stagnation. There's a difference between being at peace and avoiding growth. Growth is uncomfortable, it's messy, it's awkward, it's uncertain. So if your life feels comfortable every single day, you have to ask yourself this: am I truly at peace, or have I simply stopped challenging myself? Sign number five, you keep consuming inspiration but rarely act on it. You've watched the motivational videos, you've read the books, you've saved the quotes, you will listen to the podcast, and yet your life hasn't changed. Not because you don't know enough, but because knowledge without action changes absolutely nothing. You don't need another motivational video. You just need one brave decision. Just one. Because one decision leads to another, and another, and another, and another, and another. Until one day you look back and realize that the life you've been dreaming about actually became a reality. And not because you felt fear, but because you moved despite the fear. So, if your comfort zone has really become your prison, how do you break from it? How do you break free? How do you escape? The answer isn't to completely change your life overnight. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow, and you don't need to become a completely different person by next week. Real change doesn't happen through giant leaps. It happens through small, consistent acts of courage, and those small actions eventually become a different life. So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, so I know I'm stuck, but where do I even begin? Here's what I want you to remember: you don't escape your comfort zone by becoming fearless, you escape it by becoming willing. Willing to be uncomfortable, willing to be seen trying, willing to fail, willing to start before they feel ready. Because the people you admire today, they weren't born confident. They just built it with one uncomfortable decision at a time. Step one, do something that scares you. Nothing dangerous, just something that stretches you. Maybe it's posting the video that you've been postponing, going to the gym for the first time, meeting new people, speaking up in a meeting, applying for the job you think you're underqualified for. Maybe it's the email you've been avoiding to send. The goal isn't to shock your nervous system. The goal is to teach your brain that discomfort is not danger. Because every time you survive an uncomfortable moment, your comfort zone gets a little bigger, and what once felt impossible becomes normal. Step two, stop waiting to feel confident. This is probably one of the biggest lies that we tell ourselves. I'll do it when I feel confident. But confident isn't the starting line. Confidence is the finish line. You earn confidence by keeping promises to yourself. Every promise you keep says, I can trust myself. And self trust is far more powerful than confidence because confidence comes and goes. But when you trust yourself, you know that even when things don't go according to plan, you know that you will figure it out. Step three, accept that failure is part of the process. We've been taught to fear failure, but failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the success. Every successful person has probably failed more times than most people are willing to try. And the difference is that they didn't let failure become their identity. They let it become its teacher. Like they let failure become their teacher. So stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if failure teaches me exactly what I need to know? That question changes everything. Step four, become the person who keeps showing up. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel inspired, other days you wake up tired, you'll doubt yourself, you'll compare yourself, you'll even wonder if it's even worth it. Show up anyways, because your future isn't built on the days you feel motivated. It's built on the days you decided to be disciplined. The days when no one is clapping for you, the days when no one notices your effort. Those are the days that change your life. I want to leave you with this thought. Imagine meeting the version of you 10 years from now. Would they thank you for playing it safe? Or would they wish that you had taken the chance? Would they be proud that you stayed where it was comfortable? Or would they ask quietly, why did you keep waiting? Life is incredibly short. Too short to spend it living according to fear. Too short to keep shrinking yourself to fit inside the life that you already outgrown. Your comfort zone may feel safe today, but if it keeps you from becoming who you're capable of, then it isn't protecting you, it's imprisoning you. And prisons don't always have walls. Sometimes they look like the life that you've gotten used to. So today, I want you to choose one thing. Do one thing, just one. Make one decision. Read one chapter, one application, one workout. Because your life doesn't change in one giant moment. It changes in small moments where you choose courage over comfort. Again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And one day you'll wake up and realize that the life you thought wasn't possible is now your reality. And not because you became fearless, but you refuse to let comfort make decisions for you. And that is how freedom begins. So if this video resonated with you, I want you to comment down below what's one thing that you've been putting off because fear convinced you that you weren't ready. Leave it in the comments because sometimes saying it out loud is the first step towards change. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to join this community because we are not here to chase perfection, okay? We are here to become the people we know we are capable of being. I thank you guys for being here. I love you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.